Listen to the Star Trek theme. Yes, that's right. We're talking about Star Trek. And it's time for one podcast to boldly go where no other podcast has gone before. We got swearing. We got nerds talking about Star Trek.
It sounds like something.
Video games.
I'm pretty sure a podcast has gone there before.
We've got video game reviews.
I really don't want to have to ruin this for you,
Questions
Jeff.
from the audience.
No, that's definitely something people have done.
I was up all night coming up with these revolutionary concepts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we go back in time and
Yes.
it's like the 90s when you created podcasting?
Yes, I went back to Thomas Edison's time, and I'm just like, Watson, I give the new movie a 3 out of 4 stars. Yeah, so I hope that comes through on my microphone. I hope anybody. Anyway, yeah, welcome to the Rage Like Podcast. I'm Jeff.
I'm Anna.
And we're going to go at a pretty fast clip this week because I've been fucking marathon recording like crazy.
Good night, everybody. Bye.
All right, yep. Star Trek sucks. There was news. Injustice 2 is pretty good. No is the answer to your question. All right. Well, I did everything we said we were going to do.
Woo!
But let us not tarry too long and get a move on because it's fucking like 1 o'clock in the morning. And even though Amanda and I both stay up late,
Yeah.
I don't want to stay up too late. All right. Star Trek Discovery. Very first trailer came out.
Yes.
My God in heaven, Satan who rules below. I am conflicted. Damocles of the mortal plane. I am conflicted about this shit because on the one hand, you know what? I'll take any fucking. I'm such a junkie for Star Trek.
You really are. I sat here while you talked about that trailer and you went through every season and every channel and every episode name, and I'm like, I'm not done with Kirk yet. So
Okay, so why don't you tell me what you thought when you watched that?
I thought I was really confused why it took place before the original series.
Okay.
And I thought it didn't look particularly appealing, to be honest.
Okay. Now, what about it was not appealing to you?
I don't know. It just had a weird visual to it, just a look to it that felt really modern, considering it was supposed to be in the past. I thought they would have a little fun with the fact that the series with Kirk, they're in the girls are in miniskirts and had big beehive hairs, and and everyone is in pants and modern looking military garb almost.
Well, what's interesting is that the actual uniforms, the blue uniforms that they're wearing here, these actually look an awful lot like what they wear in Enterprise.
Okay.
But apparently
that's not appealing either, because then so they just made it look like that. There's an in between. You have an opportunity here
to bridge the gap.
Yeah,
right?
and they didn't do it.
Yeah,
or maybe mid season they're gonna bridge some horrible gap.
Well, I watched this and I immediately was like, this is obviously set in the J.J. Abrams Star Trek universe, right?
Yeah,
because it's all slick and everything's shiny and there's holograms and weird Dutch camera angles and shit. But no, this is supposed to be post-Enterprise, pre-TOS, and I don't know. Okay, so let's get a few things out of the way. One, I don't have any problem with the fucking two ladies running a starship. I don't give a shit.
I actually think the cast is really appealing, and if there's any reason I'm going to watch it, it's because of the cast.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what it is. I think I figured it out.
Tell me, Jeff.
All right, I'll tell you. So, all right, let's run down the list of in no discernible order, 3 of my favorite episodes from 3 different Star Trek series. Okay. And Let This Be Your Final Battlefield, which you may have seen. That's the one with the guys with the black on one side and white on the other that show up on the Enterprise, and they take it over, and it's like a contest of wills, and it's all a metaphor for racism, obviously, right?
Yes.
But that whole episode was just a bunch of people standing around talking, and the makeup was stupid. It was just black and white. I mean, great for the time, but not exactly rocket
It was
science.
not great for the time. It still was stupid. Let's not give them too much credit.
Super compelling, right? Season 2 or 3, Star Trek Next Generation, The Measure of a Man, where they have a trial to decide whether Data's a person or not. Most of that shit takes place on 2 sets, and it's one of the most compelling hours of TV I've ever seen in my entire goddamn life.
Yeah.
Picard goes to the bar. He's on a space station. They got a courtroom. Fucking Riker turns him off. It's just oh no, and it's touching. It's an emotional roller coaster. I'll watch it today and just be like, what the fuck? Almost no special effects, no holograms, no particles, no universes, no weird Klingons.
Right.
My hands down favorite episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine is called In the Pale Moonlight, and it's basically like Benjamin Sisko talking to the camera, walking around on all the sets they've got of the station. Just there's like a lot of boardroom meetings and like meeting with a guy in a store that he owns, and then like virtually no. There's even a thing of violence that happens, and it just happens off screen because it's unimportant. One of the most compelling 45 minutes of television I've ever seen.
Is this like Kevin Smith directing where it's all dialogue and no action?
It's yes, it is entirely dialogue driven. And it's about and all three of those. You know, you've got this racism parable in Measure of a Man. You're talking about like what does it mean to be alive? And like there's a whole thing about like if we declare data to be a machine, then we're creating a slave race, and that would show how morally bankrupt humans have become that we're willing to treat this sentient creature as a slave race.
Right.
And in The Pale Moonlight is about one man selling his soul for the greater good of saving lives, but by breaking his own morality to potentially save a shit ton of lives in a war. Okay, none of that requires like elaborate sets or lasers or walking around in the desert or holograms.
So, but if they were to do a trailer for Deep Space Nine, for the original series, for any of them, do you think they're going to be like conversations, boardroom meetings, action happening off screen? Do you think they would show the action stuff to appeal? This is a trailer.
Yeah, I guess it's just for me. I guess maybe this is the conclusion that I can reach is that Star Trek from the beginning, if you track every series, has had a line for action and a line for like dialogue, sci-fi, brain plot shit, right?
Yeah.
And that action meter has just been getting higher and higher over time, and the brain meter has been getting lower and lower. Not to say that, you know,
it's never gotten dumb. It's just not
the last
in-depth.
movie, Star Trek Beyond, was just a big dumb action movie, right? It could have been Fast and the Furious in space or Transformers.
I hear they're going to do a Fast and Furious in space.
I will see that. I will watch that immediately. I'll watch that. It's the only thing missing in the franchise. Space. So I guess that I'm hoping that, especially because they're putting this whole shit behind their like Netflix paywall subscription service. Like, you can't just watch this on TV. You have to sign up for the CBS On Demand app or whatever. NBC.
Well, fucking good luck to them, because I was gonna watch it, but I'm not gonna watch it if I have to pay for it like that.
CBS, yeah. Oh, I straight up said before, I'm going to fucking steal it because fuck you guys.
I mean, it's just stupid. Like, if you put it on TV, I'll watch it on TV. But if you're going to be like, no, we're going to dangle it as far fucking away from you as possible, make it impossible for you to watch in a convenient fashion.
Oh, no, you'll pay $7 a month and then you get access to Judge Judy and every NCIS.
Whoa. Yeah, first of all, start with that. I didn't know I could get Judge Judy with it. Is she also in Star Trek?
Man, I wish... I don't know. Let's just say this. I have such a fucking mad nerd boner for Star Trek.
Yeah,
I'll watch this. But I feel very conflicted about the things that I'm seeing in this trailer.
I feel like the Seth MacFarlane show is more appealing based on the trailer.
Orwell or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or Randy Orton or whatever.
Randy Orton, really? Star Trek out of nowhere.
Star Trek Randy Orton. CSI Randy Orton. All Randy Orton. Yeah, that looked good. The Orville.
Orville.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Because it reminded me of exactly. It reminded me of popcorn, and I eat popcorn all day, every day. It actually looked more.
It looks more Star Trek-y.
It looks more Star Trek-y to me.
Look, they have the lights turned on.
Yeah.
You can see everything.
Yeah, look at that. I actually hate Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane. I was really upset that this trailer appealed to me.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I like it. There was a Yahoo series, I forget what it was called, that was like kind of similar to this, where it was basically just kind of like current day Red Dwarf, about a bunch of people on a starship and they weren't particularly good at their jobs, kind of thing. I think that's got a lot of comedic potential. I'll give this a watch. I mean, who knows?
I'll watch it. I bet it'll be easier to find on television than the Star Trek show.
Suck it, Star Trek. Or don't. I made myself sad. All right, well, speaking of outer space and shit that happens there, a bunch of Destiny 2, there was a huge live event, and I'm going to be straight up here. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched this trailer. I read a few things about it.
You said something about it not being worth your time, and you hated, and you thought anyone that watched the whole thing was dumb. I remember that we were having that conversation.
That sounds like something I would say. I think it sounds almost exactly like a thing that I would say. You know, and also then I called everybody filthy casuals and said "get good noob" a bunch of times.
Yeah, and then you kicked a cat.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, into a small child.
I kicked Grumpy Cat right into Doge. No, this is like the first gameplay trailer. We had a kind of a cinematic story trailer, but this one actually has a lot of gameplay in it. You know, we'd already knew that there was going to be the last human city was going to get all blown up and invaded, and it was going to be kind of like we're banding together, we're going to go back, we're going to take back the city, and from there it's just like kind of a really big action montage full of explosions and stuff. I will say that just from what I'm seeing in this trailer, it already looks like there's more cutscenes in this game than there were in the first one, which is good news.
Yeah, because there wasn't a lot of story in the first game, right?
Well,
wasn't that you had to kind of.
The expansions did better than the original, but yeah. So I'm hoping. I'm actually really not excited, but I'm really optimistic about Destiny 2 because I feel like it could be the Assassin's Creed 2 of the franchise, where like the first one was an interesting first effort, and they really listened to feedback, and now they're doing the second one. They're going to try to fix everything.
I'm sorry, did you say video game companies listen to feedback?
Yeah.
Never. No.
I think Bungie might. I mean, I don't know if Activision gives two fucks about anybody or anything. Actually, no, I know specifically that they don't give two fucks about anyone or anything.
That's all they tweet every day is, by the way, wanted to let you guys know we don't give a shit.
Hey, it's Thursday. Just want to let you know. No fucks. No fucks given today either.
The hour is now 12:59. We do not give a fuck.
Thanks for your money, jerks. You'll be giving us more when the Destiny 2 comes out. Don't pretend like you're not going to, so fuck you. Activision out. No, but I think this trailer looks really good. I mean, I think the first trailer looks pretty good. I hope that they put Cade and the Warlock lady and the Guardian dude, like, that they have more of a central role in this because...
So that I remember their names and don't just call them Warlock lady and...
Yep, I forgot.
Dude. Yeah.
I mean, they're just the actors to me. It's fucking... Zoe and Fringe Guy and Captain Mal and
Lance something awesome name.
Lance, no. God damn it, brain! It's not Henriksen. Quit it, brain. It's not. My brain. I'm just like, what's his last name? My brain's like Henriksen. And I'm like, no, brain. Henriksen.
He just looked it up.
Henriksen. Reddick? Is that it? Is it Lance Reddick?
That sounds right.
Is that it? Yeah.
That sounds good.
Torres and Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks good. I don't know. I'm hoping, like I said, I hope that they fix the shit that was boring.
I didn't play the original, but this trailer is appealing as fuck. Like, I want to play that.
Yeah. Do you give? I mean, have you ever given any shits whatsoever about Halo?
No, I didn't like the controls on the first one. I thought it was really flighty, and it was hard for me to enjoy it. And so I never really got into any of the other ones. Like, I literally shut down. I was like, I don't like Halo 1, and then never played any Halo after that, like an asshole.
Okay.
And to be fair, I'm sure I could give it another shot, and I might enjoy it more now than I did when it first came out. But
okay. Yeah, and I'll be real honest. Like, we're going to talk about a few other things about Destiny 2, but there's a shitload of Like, they had a live stream for an hour and 20 minutes today, and then apparently I'm just looking at like my YouTube on the side here. Here's Bungie devs talking about the story. Here's 25 minutes of Gunslinger Hunter gameplay. Here's like an official gameplay walkthrough from Rabid Retrospect Games. Apparently, like, they just invited everybody, and they were just like fucking.
Well, not everybody.
Well, I didn't ask. You gotta ask.
Can I come? No.
You know what? It's very possible that I might be able to one day cut down the amount of money I spend on video games by just asking for them.
Oh yeah.
But it's just like you have to do it like 5 days in advance, and I'm busy 5 days in advance of everything. Fuck. Anyway, so let's talk about a little bit more about Destiny 2.
Okay, let's do it.
Here's some other stuff that's happening.
I stopped caring.
So they have their PvP multiplayer, which is called the Crucible, and that used to be 6-on-6, but strangely, they're changing it to 4v4. So
Why?
fewer people than before? I don't rightly know. I'm sure
Do you think
there's
maybe it'd be easier to connect more people in a game that way?
well, let's see. There's a quote here. We're moving all activities in PvP to 4v4.
There's a quote here. It says, "I don't give a fuck."
I don't give a fuck. Wubba-lubba-dub-dub. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, it may be that they did. You got to figure that, like with companies like Bungie, that they've spent so much time like poring over all the metrics that they obviously collect from when you're playing the game, that they're just like, we found it.
Yeah.
Tuning is easier with 8 instead of 12 people. I don't know. It's interesting to I don't know. But, something that people should know. The thing that I find even more interesting, though, is that this is, like, because the first Destiny was a console exclusive. So Destiny 2 is actually coming to PCs.
Ooh.
But it's not releasing on PCs the same day as consoles. And
Is it later or is it earlier?
Later. They haven't even announced a release date for it, but they have confirmed that it's not going to be the same day as consoles, which is September 8th. So I'd be willing to bet that it's probably going to be like one of those old Assassin's Creed things where this comes out on September 8th and then like October 30th,
Yeah.
It comes out on the PC.
Yeah, I imagine it probably would come out before the holidays. Like that September, October time is perfect for if you want to be a Christmas present.
Mm-hmm. Also, I keep forgetting the exact specifics, but Bungie has some kind of agreement with Activision where if they don't release Destiny 2 this year, then they forfeit a part of the stock that they own.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it'll be out before the year is out, almost certainly. But what's interesting, though, is that, okay, so Activision, Call of Duty, you buy those on Steam, right? When you're buying a PC game, the Activision games, you're over on Steam, you're buying that stuff.
Yeah.
But Activision apparently wants to start to do, and allow me to just go, the Origin Uplay route and have their own digital distribution. Now, they technically already have that because Activision is Blizzard, and Blizzard has Battle.net, and so when this comes out on the PC, it'll be digitally distributed via Battle.net, which is strange because Battle.net is for fucking Blizzard games.
Yeah.
I open up my Battle.net and I've got like WoW, Diablo, Hearthstone, Overwatch, fucking everything, StarCraft,
Yeah.
and then Destiny. It's just, I don't know how I'm going to be able to open that app and not have that one of these things is not like the other.
For now, maybe that's just what they're going to do, though. Like, they're going to...
I hope not. I mean, I like Battle.net actually better than Steam in some cases because it'll preload enough of the game for you to be able to play it. So, like, you can go play, like, Heroes of the Storm, but it looks real crappy until it downloads the rest of the graphical assets, but it'll let you play, like, a real low-rent version of it.
Yeah.
And I like that, but, I mean, just, like, it just...
Fucking needy, man.
Actually, no, and I just remembered that Bethesda did that same shit, right? So now Bethesda has their own launcher.
Yeah.
Because John and I played the Quake beta today, and that's in, like, somebody sent me a code for it, and I put it in Steam. Steam was like, "Fuck, this ain't one of mine." And then
Steam literally just laughed at you and closed itself.
Yep. And then I typed it into my PlayStation 4, and I was like, "This is too many numbers." And I was like, "Oh right." Because Gwent really needed its own front end, or whatever. No, not Gwent. That's The Witcher. I'm talking about the Elder Scrolls card game. Yeah. Anywho, but that's interesting because that means if Activision let's say the next step from Activision is to start pulling Call of Duty from Steam and then putting it on Battle.net instead. I don't know. It could turn into a weird separation of the ecosystem. I just don't like it. It's that thing, as somebody who plays all the games, it's that thing that I hate of just like, I gotta have like 6 different apps installed because you got 3 games and so you need your own app to...
Isn't this the issue with, like, first there was Hulu and Netflix, and now there's, like, Hulu and Netflix, and, like, every single
Amazon,
channel has
yeah.
Amazon Prime, and then you have, like, all these different ones.
HBO Go.
Yeah, like, everyone starts pulling out of those so that they can have their own thing, and it's like, if I pay $7.99 for every single one of them, I might as well get cable back, assholes.
Well, see, I think the funny thing is that I have even less of a leg to stand on for complaining pantsing because it's just an entitled gamer thing where I'm just like, I don't want to install another free app just to be able to play your game. Aw.
I mean, it's still kind of annoying as shit to have to install another thing. You know? Like, come on, guys, make it easy.
Just put it on Steam, fuckface. I mean, I understand that Steam is kind of shitty, but like. Just put it on Steam. We done it. We all agreed on Steam.
We all everyone said okay, and now you guys are all fucking backing out on it.
Yeah. Every time an EA game comes out and I've got to open up Origin, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go get the PS4 version. I want to do this. Anyway, speaking of colossal pains in the ass, let's talk a little bit about Nintendo.
I thought this was how you're gonna segue into the questions.
Let's answer your question. Our first stupid question.
This asshole's asking a question.
What's your favorite ice cream that's based off a video game? No, Nintendo put out a Nintendo Direct today where they talked all about ARMS, which I actually went and specifically looked up. Because
like our constitutional right to bear arms?
That's right. No, they're weird, like, kind of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out with spring arms kind of thing.
It kind of looks super fun.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I just can't tell how much longevity it's going to have in my heart. But it looks fun, and I actually looked this up specifically. You can play this with the two little nunchucks, like with motion controls, or you just use it like a fucking controller person.
Okay.
Right? But they went on and on and on about this. They showed just about every different fighter. They've all got like a few different hands that you can put on them and kind of the mechanics. It looks fun. I mean, it's going to be $60 whole. But I mean, it looks
like a fun party game.
Yeah,
it definitely looks like something that you would play at a party where you just have a bunch of people smacking the shit out of each other with their long ass arms.
Apparently, you can play online with up to 10 switches connected to each other, and up to 2 different people can play on every switch. So up to 20.
God
this is
damn!
Like, not at the same time. You get 2-on-2 is the max you can get, but you can create lobbies that have all
so
those
it's like all your buddies all together playing.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it definitely looks like bright.
So would that be like a Nintendo Switch LAN party?
Sort of, yeah. And then apparently John was telling me that the internet's getting all goo-goo-eyed for one of the fighters today.
Which one?
I was going to show you because I figured you would probably want to know.
Would I get goo-goo-eyed?
I don't know.
Is this just a way of John telling me that he's got a crush on some fucking girl with long arms, and now another unrealistic body standard that women have?
No, because this girl has her hair. She uses her hair. That's her. She's
Twintel?
Yeah, she's a movie star, and she uses her hair to fight her little boxing arms, but apparently people like her butt. She's got a big butt, or she's.
Did John tell you that? You have to tell me.
Yeah, he was saying that the internet was into it. I don't know. I don't really know. But in any case, I don't know. This game looks pretty good. I'll play it.
It looks fun. I mean, I'm into it. I like fighting games, and I like games with weird ass character designs. So
I keep forgetting that. Like last week, I remembered that. Like, oh yeah, I own a Nintendo Switch and Mario Kart 8, and so then like whenever I needed to kill a few minutes. Mario Kart is actually perfect for killing a few minutes because unlike Zelda, you can just pick it up, do a race, and then just like put it back down again. So, which this could work similar, where you just pick it up, have a fight, put it back down.
Pick it up, use your hair to punch people in the face.
Yep.
Put it down.
And then at the end of this Nintendo Direct, they actually had a trailer. It was a real strange trailer for apparently Splatoon 2 is going to have like a single-player story mode. Where you have to go find like the 2 Inkling ladies who are like the hosts of the original Splatoon who did the little thing with their hands. Like one of them has been kidnapped, and there's kind of this weird esoteric like there's like just a bunch of like arenas full of craziness that you're gonna have to navigate and figure out what to do.
Yeah.
Looks pretty fun. I mean, it's nice that they are
putting a little more into it than just the multiplayer stuff.
Yeah, throw a little bit in there. I mean, I really enjoyed Splatoon when it first came out.
It's fucking cute, and I'm not necessarily a Nintendo fanboy girl, but I'm definitely somebody that like I'm kind of their demographic when it's like it's adorably cute. I'm like, I'm in. Let's do it.
I always thought that it was the thing that always caught me about Splatoon was that they did a thing that I never thought they got enough credit for, which was changing an online multiplayer shooter in a fundamental way, because it's not about killing, it's about how much paint is on the map.
Yeah.
So you literally like go over here while your team keeps them busy and just fucking cover the side of the map in paint, and you'd be doing better than if you just went over and killed a bunch of people, right?
Yeah.
So but that was Nintendo Direct for today. And now we have just a shitload of assorted things. So let's go down the list and talk about them.
Let's jump into it.
All right. Assorted thing number one, Devolver Digital, the company right here from Austin, Texas, that puts out a bunch of real crazy esoteric games.
Uh-huh.
They're having their own E3 press conference this year.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I like them because they publish crazy indie games, and they're from Austin.
What is your favorite crazy Devolver Digital?
Broforce.
Broforce? Oh,
Certainly.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Broforce was a Devolver Digital. Or I did, and I forgot.
They're actually having a sale right now on Steam. We're recording this. I'm sure that over the weekend it'll still be going on. But let's take a quick look, and I can give you.
Let's do it.
Not a hero. They did. Okay. Shadow Warrior 2, Talos Principle, Hotline Miami 2, Enter the Gungeon, Serious Sam, Stories Untold, Broforce, Strafe, Blockhood, Reigns, Space Plan, Downwell, Mother Russia Bleeds, Okelos, Drop C, Gods Will Be Watching, Titan
Drop C is horrifying.
Luftrausers, Not a Hero, Ali Ali 2, Ronin, Fistful Gun, Genital Jousting, Heavy Bullets, Omnibus, Sometimes Monsters, Had a Full Boyfriend, Foul Play. Yeah, so we played like a shitload of these on Rage Select.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad that they're having their own little thing because I like what they're doing, in spite of the fact that Strafe was a big pile of garbage that ran poorly.
You can't win them all.
I requested a refund for it off of Sony's website, and they sent me a document about like, here's how to troubleshoot a game, and I'm like, it's badly made.
Yeah.
But Devolver Digital is a publisher, not a game maker, so
yeah,
whatever. Speaking of new games that are coming out, Ubisoft, I think this might have been an earnings call thing, but whatever it is, Far Cry 5 and The Crew 2 are probably going to be coming out at E3 this year. We didn't have a Far Cry last year, so Primal was the year before.
Yeah.
And nobody gives a fuck about The Crew. Or look, person, who gives a fuck about The Crew? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, commenter, whoever you are. You've already written a paragraph and a half, so it's fine.
It's fine. You play The Crew. You do you. We all know that Jeff don't race unless it's Mario Kart, so whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently, also, there's some rumblings that Assassin's Creed is going to be in there as well.
Ooh.
I just want a new Splinter Cell game, and I want one real bad, and I don't know why they won't give me a new Splinter Cell game.
Because you want it real bad.
Call up Michael Ironside, give him whatever amount of money he wants, and I will give you $60 for your video game.
Give him whatever money he wants.
Give him my $60.
I will pay $60.
I bet you could get Michael Ironside on Skype for a couple of days to do some Sam Fisher voices.
Maybe.
So yeah, but Far Cry, I don't know. I liked Far Cry 4. Far Cry Primal.
Yeah, I dug Far Cry Primal. I got too into the hunting, and then I just hunted the whole time.
There's a lot of ways to get distracted in Far Cry.
It was oddly tranquil. It was like usually I'm like, kill this fucker, do this, and then I played this game and I'm like, shh, I've been hunting the same rabbit for hours. Just watch. I was just like not even shooting it, like literally just following animals. Like I don't know what I was doing. I just
you could just play everything.
I apparently got high as fuck. I don't endorse the Devil's Lettuce.
Okay.
Just in case anyone thought that I was
wacko tobacco.
The wacky tobacco.
Yep. Speaking of new games that are coming out, apparently they're making a new Life is Strange as well. It's not called Life is Strange 2, but it is apparently a sequel to Life is Strange. Did you ever play that?
Nope.
Did you watch us play it?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, you know I don't watch these videos.
Well, it was, I don't know. It's the one with the girl who has like time powers and she's like in high school. Grant and I played it.
Yeah, I remember.
It's kind of like a Telltale game, but it had a little bit more like Remedy style reality bending and shit.
Yeah. I remember people being way into it.
People really wanted us to play the whole thing. I've never gone back and played it, but
and you're like, nope.
But yeah, and they're also still working on their vampire game called Vampire. But yeah, everybody who was really super happy about Life is Strange fuck you, because IO this is going to get sold, and I'm never going to get another Hitman game, and you can play a fucking sequel to your fucking dorm room. Those girls were mean to me. It's high school. I'm going to use my superpowers to get back at them and give a crush on my fuck. Never mind. Sorry.
Wow. You need to take it. You need to breathe.
They sold the company that made Hitman because Square did that stupid shit where they were like, it didn't sell 4 billion copies, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
You made it episodic, fuckface. You made it into an episodic game. Nobody was going to want to play that. Anyway. Ugh, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that will happen, and then everybody will get to play Life is Strange. And when it comes out, then I'll invite Grant over, and we'll play Life is Strange too.
Play it all the way through?
No, never.
Maybe.
Never.
Maybe.
Netflix is making a Witcher show.
Yeah, I told you about this.
Yes, you did.
Yay!
Yep. Apparently,
my news made it to the news.
Apparently, this is the executive producers from the Expanse TV show, and they're making based on the books, not necessarily on the games. That's cool. I mean,
so isn't it kind of all we know right now in that it's done by like some digital effects company, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a CGI show.
Yep, this is totally correct.
Yes, and then I smacked myself in the face with a microphone.
I just look forward to having a show that I can watch without having to put any button inputs instead of a game that I have to watch like a TV show that occasionally makes me push button inputs. Also, apparently, my goal today is just to pee on everybody's favorite thing. Bring your favorite thing over here.
I saw that Star Trek trailer and it sucks, and now everything you love sucks too.
Everything sucks. Why can't they make a good Star Trek show? I just wanted a good Star Trek show, man.
Aww.
All right. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Also, The Witcher is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just
Everything's fine. I'm good. It's okay.
Destiny's the greatest game ever.
I'm not crying. I'm just frustrated.
The Witcher is a wonderful video game. I love the crew. I love Life is Strange. I also love the Fractured Butthole.
I guess you do.
The Star Trek South Park. The Fractured Butthole. Apparently, there were a couple of delays in this, which... Like, I don't know about you, but there's a certain point in time where a thing that I like is far enough away where I basically just pretend that it's never going to come out, and in that way I don't have to be like, oh, man, they pushed it back from fucking September to October.
No, I'm a Guillermo del Toro fan, so I'm really used to just being like, oh, he's doing a thing. It's never going to come out. I don't have to worry about it.
And then you're like, oh, shit, it's coming out.
Yeah,
Yay!
And then when it comes out, it's a surprise, and I feel happy about it.
So there are a bunch of delays, but we have a release date October 17th. That's great. Mm-hmm. This first South Park game was amazing. I'm really curious to see if they can do it again, considering that I feel like they used up just about every reference in all of South Park.
Yeah.
In the last game. Did you play that game? You're not a South Park?
I'm not a huge South Park person, nor like modern South Park person. I was into it when it first came out.
Fair enough.
And I was still a kid, and cussing was fun.
Yeah. No, I got you. Half of this trailer that they put out with this is just farting.
Yeah. In
a way that, I mean, I think farts are funny, but there's a certain point where I'm like, all right, let's get past the farting part.
Got it.
Speaking of fart noises, Sega has recently put out Bayonetta and Vanquish on the PC. Old games that we never thought were going to get a PC release, and they're totally getting a PC release. And apparently, they are interested in bringing back some other older games and basically kind of putting them on Steam or reviving old franchises.
Yeah.
They basically said, here's a quote. They reference in their latest business report, they had a reference for the, quote, revival of past IPs, quote, as part of their strategy for 2020. So there's a game that everybody except for me likes called Alpha Protocol that was made by Obsidian. And Obsidian Entertainment basically said, like, they tweeted like at that announcement, like, well, you don't say, and then like some screenshots of Alpha Protocol, and it was like, so I feel like if Alpha Protocol 2 comes out, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Obsidian's games recently have been less I hate them than they used to be. This is not an invitation to have the discussion about why I don't like all your favorite Obsidian games because I just don't like them.
Oh man, this comment section is going to be real interesting.
Oh yeah, that was a real barn burner this week. I don't know how I did this. Like I just put them in an order I thought was interesting, and I'm just like, fuck, man, god damn.
It's like this might be a comment section you might want to avoid a little bit.
Man. Yeah. I don't know. I always thought Off Protocol would have been a good idea if I tried playing it like 4 times and I keep getting bored and then stop playing it. Like, and not even like I hate it. It's not like I love it up. I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like I play it. I'm just like, I'm not having any fun with this. I want to go play something else.
Yeah.
So, but hey, you know what? Maybe they'll make a second one and it'll be great, and it'll be great, and everybody will be great, and I'll love it, and you'll love it. And you can be like, see, the franchise is great. And I'll be like, this one is, and then we can continue to argue.
Because you won't be able to just enjoy the moment. They'll be like, see, look, it's great. And you'll be like, this one is, the rest is shit, though. And then they're like, ah.
You don't understand. I have had a multi-year fight with fans of this company because I don't like their games. They used to make sequels to games that I really loved.
Right.
And I didn't like them very much. Fallout New Vegas, KOTOR 2, Neverwinter Nights 2. And literally when, like, I think South Park was Obsidian as well, but it was like Obsidian via Trey Parker and Matt Stone or something like that.
Yeah.
Or it might have been something else. It might have been like one of their RPGs. I think it was the first South Park game, actually.
Yeah.
When that came out, and I was like, I really enjoy this. And people were like, so you like all Obsidian games now? And I was just like, no.
What? Yeah.
Why would why would one good game like change my mind on the ones that I didn't like?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not belabor that point too much further. I'll tell you about a game that I really like, that I really do like.
Okay.
Overwatch. It's been a year, and Overwatch is having their 1-year anniversary celebration coming up soon.
Yay.
They're gonna
get on the payload. It's been an entire year. For God's sake, get on the fucking payload.
I'm not going to heal you, Genji. I'm just not going to do it.
Jesus.
You tell me you need healing all the live long day. I'm not going to do it. Apparently, they're going to be putting out a digital version that'll have 10 free loot boxes, some new skins.
Yay. Yay. Those skins should just be the fucking skins that they had for all their events this last year that I never got an opportunity to fucking win because you kept giving me dupes instead of giving me the fucking skins that I've been fighting this whole time for.
I want to know if I already own the game, if I can buy like a booster pack that just gives me whatever those are. Mm-hmm. There's also going to be a bunch of crossover shit. So you can play Tracer in Heroes of the Storm, Baby Winston Pet in World of Warcraft, Mercy's Wings in Diablo 3, Tracer, Reaper, Pharah, Winston Bastion, and Soldier 76 portraits for StarCraft 2, and a Hearthstone card. But the most important thing to you person out there who hasn't played Overwatch or doesn't care about Overwatch is that you should keep an eye out because they're going to be doing a free weekend.
Yeah.
And if you haven't played Overwatch and you don't know, I know a lot of people that I've talked to are just like, I just don't know. It just doesn't, like, everybody's gaga about it, but I don't seem like it's for me.
Yeah. Give it a shot.
Play it one of the free weekends. Yeah. I bet that you will be able to tell within about an hour whether you're going to like it or not.
Yeah, get on the payload and see what it's like.
Yeah.
Being the only fucking person on the fucking payload. Why don't they go after the sniper? There's one asshole sniping me the entire fucking time. Why is there a turret? There shouldn't be a turret. I have an entire team of people, and there's a turret. Just one. What the fuck, Jeff? That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry. It's just, I love Overwatch, but goddamn. Anyway, you'll get that a lot.
I really like watching Amanda play Overwatch because she is never not upset about being the only person trying to move the payload forward. I'm on your side because I'm like, if I get killed, but I move the payload forward 1 inch, I have done my fucking job.
Yeah, more so than anybody else. You killed somebody 4 times? Good for fucking you. The payload went backwards.
Hey, we lost.
Yeah.
We lost. Congratulations, Widowmaker. Thanks for standing on top of a building for 6 hours and losing us the match.
God,
I'm glad that we're on the same team.
It's like a fucking religious experience to be like dealing with it.
All right. You know what else I like a lot?
Yelling, watching me get frustrated about fake talking about Overwatch.
Show enough. No, it's called The Legend of Link from Nintendo. Apparently, like Nintendo made that Super Mario Run game, and
Yes.
they made Pokemon, or they at least have part of Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
There's an Animal Crossing game coming, and now there's going to be a Zelda game on cell phones as well. And that's great because I would like to play a Zelda game.
Yeah, they said they were going to get all like hella into doing phone stuff. So
I just want them. I just want the rumors to be true that there's a new Metroid game. That's all. It's one of my favorite franchises, and they've just let it be shit.
yeah,
And not even like old, dried up, dusty road shit for years. And I just want some new stuff. But hey, you know what? I'll play a Zelda game if I get a new phone because my phone totally sucks.
Yeah.
All right, 2 more stories, then we're done here.
Yay!
Microsoft has filed a trademark extension for Scalebound. They can do it with, they can do this 3 times. So Scalebound was a Platinum Games, like you're riding around on a dragon, and then you turn part dragon. And
Yeah, my friend was super obsessed with the trailer that had come out last year and showed it to me like 6 times. And then I was the person that got to break the news to him that wasn't
that
coming
was
out.
canceled. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's be clear here. This doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Microsoft would do this anyway just to keep the trademark, to keep their options up, because they pay a bunch of lawyers and it doesn't cost
Yeah.
anything to be like, just go do that. But you know what? If you were a big fan of what you saw from Scalebound, you can hold out a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And last but not least, usually I try to get something fun, but this week I only had something that was a little bit of a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Wake is no longer available to buy on Steam.
Aw.
Yeah, apparently the music license,
yeah.
which I don't understand why they can't, like, if you knew that was going to happen, why wouldn't you, like, make a version that had different music in it? Like,
Maybe it just wasn't worth the effort to
Maybe
them.
so,
I mean,
yeah.
because how much is Alan Wake selling right at this point in time?
I don't know, because it's not on
Because-
Steam.
Oh, well.
I mean, like, I could buy a copy off of eBay, but ugh, gross.
Well, I just mean like when it was still available, like was it really still selling
It
a
was like
whole lot? Because it's
$20 or... Oh, I wonder if I ever bought American Nightmare. Fuck.
oh,
I wonder if that's even available.
I think you did because what you purchased was all of it all together, right?
No, because what I purchased was the game and the DLC expansions, but American Nightmare was like Undead Nightmare. It was a separate
Yeah, that's right.
thing. So, but anyway, if you were like, ah, shit, I really wanted to see what Alan Wake was like. Hey,
Buy it physically.
we got you covered.
Oh,
YouTube.com/Rage Select. You can go to the playlist that Amanda's
the
made
greatest motherfucking sequential
of all time.
of all time.
You can watch in the DLC parts me get stuck in a rotating Ferris wheel.
I honestly, man, I've rewatched that same part over and over again.
Yeah.
Because it makes me laugh every fucking time.
Sadist.
I have one happy bit of news if you want to hear it.
Sure.
I'm pregnant. No, I'm just kidding.
We could have put that in the beginning if you told me.
It's Netflix is doing a Dark Crystal, the like Jim Henson movie. They're
Uh-huh.
doing a Dark Crystal television series.
Is that a good thing?
It is a good thing because it's coming out through Jim Henson Studio, so it's not some weird
Okay.
different thing.
Oh,
and,
good. So,
and that movie was horrifying and scary,
Yeah.
and I think they might actually, it's a prequel, so you're going to see the magical world before it got fucked up.
I'm like, oh, good. We can traumatize an entirely new generation of children with the Skeksis.
The fucking horrifying Skeksis that like rip the clothes off of the other Skeksis,
Yep.
and all while making them.
Yep.
It's horrifying. Anyway, good news, everyone.
All right, we're going to take a break and clear our mind of Skeksis because that's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
Big old fucking bird tooth looking motherfuckers. I have to always appreciate that Jim Henson was always willing to make shit look fucking vile.
Yeah.
Like the goblins in Labyrinth and, the horrible Skeksis. It's like
Yeah.
a 3D render. Anyway, we're gonna be back in just a minute. We're gonna take some questions. We're gonna talk a bit about Injustice 2, and we'll be right back. And we're back.
Yeah.
And yes, we have questions to answer, but before we do, You know what? Injustice 2 came out this week.
Yeah.
And I had enough time to play all the way through the campaign and to play some of the multiverse and to play some stuff. So I feel like I can talk a little bit about it.
You hate it?
No, I think it's really good, actually.
Nice.
Yep. So, for anybody who's been living under a rock, Injustice 2 is the latest NetherRealm game. It is a DC Heroes fighting game where basically it's the direct sequel to Injustice 1, and in that game, you were talking about like a whole world ruled by an authoritarian Superman who's gone crazy with power. Wow. They've got to like
yeah.
what? They've got to like bring the Justice League over. But this is like that same world, and it's later. Superman's in prison. Batman's trying to kind of like keep the world together, but there's a brand new threat on the horizon, and will the new Justice League be able to take care of it? What about all the loyalists to Superman who are still out there in the wild? And there's a new threat from Gorilla Grodd and his league of evil jerks.
Yeah.
And also Swamp Thing is there for like one moment.
He walks in like, hi, guys, and then he just leaves.
I think it was funny when they were doing the marketing for this because they're like, everybody's divided up into different groups of like, here's Batman's group. It's like Batman and Harley Quinn and, blah, 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 blah. And here's Superman's group. It's like Superman and Wonder Woman and blah, blah, blah. And here's Gorilla Grodd and whatever. And they're like, and here are some other people. Dr. Fate, Swamp Thing. They don't really belong anywhere.
But look how cool they are. Yay.
But hey, you know what? A video game with Swamp Thing. Hey.
Yeah, right. And he looks cool.
You know what? At the very end, I thought you would appreciate this. This isn't a spoiler for what's happening at the very end, or at what's happening in the game. I'm going to be very oblique about it. But somebody's like listing off all of these people, this giant alliance that they're having, and they're like, yes, the Ronians and the Zarnians, and I'm just like, oh, like Lobo? Lobo's the
yeah,
wait.
man. I mean, he was in the first game. He was a DLC character.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what about a whole just story? What about a fucking just Lobo game?
I've fought for a lot of just Lobo anythings, and I got a whole lot of nothing, and then they murdered him in the comic book.
Oh, yeah, they turned him into, like, Edward Cullen from fucking Twilight, right?
He was in love with the princess, and that's why the whole blah, 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 blah. Go fuck himself. Anyway.
This is salty. This podcast, I'm just going to make the thumbnail
right?
just a big pile of salt.
Yeah. This is you. You did this.
I know, I have. Anyway, so there's a single-player campaign, and it's kind of like if you played Mortal Kombat 9 or you played Mortal Kombat X or you played Injustice, basically just it picks a person, it goes through a little chunk of the storyline, and you play like 4 or 5 fights with them.
You pick a person. Right? Because in some of them you don't. Like in
no. Yeah, in the
Mortal
story,
Kombat 9 you didn't. You just
not you don't pick a person. The game picks a person, and then you play as them for like 3 or 4 fights. Some fights there'll be teams, like it'll be Black Canary and Green Arrow, and then it's like you pick which one you want to fight with.
Right? Yeah.
For the most part, the fighting seems snappier and a little bit better implemented than it may have been in the first one. There are a ton of different systems, but like NetherRealm, they're real easy to get into. It is faster than the first one, so I found myself having a little bit of difficulty keeping up with it because I'm old and I can't play fast fighting games as I used to be able to.
Slow down, you're gonna hurt yourself.
Superman, you go too fast.
The Flash needs to calm down.
Yep. There is the campaign's about 6 hours long. It's really good. Like I've been talking with everybody about the face animation is just fucking incredible. Like a lot of emotion, like better than a lot of games that I've seen.
What? Better than Mass Effect?
Yeah. Yes.
Somehow it's better than Mass Effect's facial expression.
Like I would put it on par with like say like the Uncharted games, which are, have really good like facial tech. Like it's some of the best I've ever seen. Everything else looks really good. Like the storyline is well plotted out. It's actually kind of cool because unlike the first one where it's just like, oh, it's an evil regime, we have to topple them. It's like, you've got people who used to be in this regime, people who like were the resistance who are now like in charge.
There's people trying to like redeem themselves.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of interesting stuff. I feel it's a way better storyline than the first one.
Well, it also has a lot of comic books to back itself up into. Which is funny because John said to me, I haven't read him, and I didn't play the first game, or I did, but not the story mode, just a multiplayer. But John said that it was they said that they weren't going to pull that much from the comic books because they wanted to make it very like easy,
its own thing.
Yeah, just very easy that if you just play the video games, you can just play the video games. But he said there were a lot of references, so I guess they found a nice like medium between the two.
I never felt lost, and I just played the first game, and I don't even really remember the plot of the first game.
Yeah,
where somebody will come out and they'll be like,
well, I mean, it's NetherRealms. They're never going to overcomplicate it in a way that's like more than what DC already overcomplicates things.
Right.
But the comic book is great.
Yeah.
I haven't read a lot of it, but I've read a good chunk of it, and I can tell you that it's fucking great and that people should read it.
All right.
It's on my list, and I'm not even a DC person.
There you go. It's got a couple different endings. There's a reason to replay a few things. It's kind of BS. Like, you just have to replay similar fights to get the other ending. You just have to kind of replay some of the fights that you've already replayed. Not all of them, which is nice, but some of them, yes, and that's a little irritating. I'm going to throw this out here, and this is a personal knock, but you'll have to decide whether you don't like it for yourself. You really only deal with about half the characters in the story mode. Like, they don't do... I really wish that there had been a villain campaign, right? Yeah. Because all the villains are just the people that you're fighting against, so you never really see much of the villain's perspective in the storyline. You also don't ever get a chance to really play them all that much until you go out into other modes. So as far as story goes, it's about as good as you can get. Once you're done with the story, there's definitely multiplayer to play online. They also have a thing called the Multiverse. I think that's what it's called, where basically there's a bunch of different planets. It's a lot like the towers in Mortal Kombat X, where there's like modifiers, and then you can go through and you can fight them. And when you go through those, you end up getting gear. And that's the big thing for this game, is that like every character has a whole bunch of slots that you can put different gear into, and that gear actually affects things like your ability to attack and defend and how much your special weapons...
Does it change the way your character looks? Like, it's like, oh, you're wearing a shield, and then you're wearing a shield.
Absolutely, yes. Okay. Like, all the different armor pieces look different. And actually, there's a case to be made as to that's a bad thing, because, like, if you like your superheroes... clean, like a clean look on them, there's a lot of ugly costumes in here, because everybody's got to be wearing a different set of weird armor, right? So, but it's kind of cool. Like, I was playing with Superman, and like everybody, they have not only just armor sets, but they also have powers that you can implement, and they also have palettes that you can swap. Like, Batman has one called Arkham Hunter, where his armor all looks like Boba Fett.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
There's one with Superman where it's all purple and yellow like Bizarro. So it looks like Bizarro Superman.
Yeah, I love Bizarro.
There's even some full-on power palette swaps where like Captain Cold can also be Mr. Freeze. Or
and Cheetah, is that the girl?
I don't know. Does she have one?
She's a villain.
With
the tail. Yeah. Okay, so she can be Vixen.
Oh, okay. And like, Supergirl can be Power Girl.
Yeah, I knew that one. Yeah,
and there's a few other ones. The Flash has also Reverse Flash and Alan Scott with a little helmet with little wings on it.
Yeah.
So all that's there. The only thing is that there's no real like story reason for you to continue playing the game once you finish playing the story, unless you really like fighting games. So like, if you like fighting games. I feel like there's a ton. I mean, I didn't do anything online because I'm not good enough. Like, what am I going to do? Just go online, get my ass kicked? Come on. There's no Melina for me to fucking just cheese dick people with in this game. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Supergirl, man.
Supergirl's.
She's Scorpion in a Mortal Kombat game. If you want to just be an asshole, you play as fucking Scorpion.
Yep.
And Supergirl plays like fucking Scorpion.
Yep.
Kind of like just some of the movesets are real similar.
But I guess all I'm trying to say is that, like, let's say that you don't have any real interest in playing online. And let's say that the pure fighting aspect of just conquering harder and harder foes is not in it for you. Then this may not be the game for you, because you got about 6 to 8 hours worth of story, and then you're just going to be.
Yeah, maybe wait for it to be on sale or something.
Exactly. Like, if we know anything, a lot of times in a year, this game will probably have an Ultimate Edition with all of the crazy DLC, and it'll
where
cost
I'll get
$10.
Lobo again, for fuck's sake. I don't know why I didn't get fucking Lobo this time around.
Hey, man. I wanted Johns, but you don't hear me over
I think
here.
Etrigan's supposed to be in one of the DLC characters.
Well, I know
think
Black
saw-
Manta is. Well, they announced. Let's see, Red Hood, Sub-Zero, and one other person, and then they had silhouettes around, and Black Manta looked like one of them.
Yeah, I think Etrigan looked like one of the silhouettes. That was like a running theory, but he's kind of a big guy, so it's kind of hard to gauge.
I want him to be rhyming that entire time.
He better.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of it. I feel like the costumes can be a little ugly at times, but you get used to it. It's the whole
It's a
aesthetic.
fucking fighting game. You want them to be pretty?
Well, because of the equipment, they're all very busy looking.
Yeah.
Nobody has a very clean outfit. And when I think of superheroes, I think of iconic, clean kind of suits, right? Like, yeah, Batman's got a bunch of armor on him. Okay, that's fine. We've seen that shit before, but
Superman with armor on is funny.
it's weird, especially because they all seem to have something on the sides of his head.
Yeah, we
Like
can't get rid of the S curl, man. That's important.
Yeah. But all in all, I had a really good time with it. It's just, also, I mean, they've got a whole kind of upgrade, like cashing in duplicate materials to get upgrade materials, and then like currencies that you get by doing fights and like daily rewards. So if you're into it, there's plenty of reasons to keep playing it.
Yeah.
It's just you have to decide for yourself whether you're into it.
I feel like the people that are into it know they're into it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a Mortal Kombat game with DC skin. You know what you want.
Yeah. It's really exceptional, and it reminded me that like I fucking really love DC when somebody just does it right.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to get off on a whole movie tangent. In fact, I even told Matt when we were recording the dojo, like, listen, I've been going off on a lot of DC movie tangents here. I don't want to get into that same bitch fest over again, but I really enjoyed this. It was fucking Gorilla Grodd and like Brainiac and fucking the weird society. It's fucking Swamp Thing. Fucking Swamp Thing was just in there. I don't like who the fuck put Swamp Thing in
I
a
mean,
video
it
game?
was neat to see fucking Doc Fate just wandering around,
Yeah.
telling people shit and like, nah, it's cool.
I like it. His little super move where you swoop people into your little into his helmet.
Yeah.
And it's like in the inside of his mind, there's like a bunch of different Dr. Fates just beating the shit out of somebody. So anyway, yeah, if you're at all curious about it, I mean, for fuck's sake, I like to support NetherRealm. So if you feel like that all that lines up with what you want to do and you want to spend $60, great. If you're maybe not sure about spending $60, I guarantee you by Christmas this thing's going to be on sale.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At some point. So, all right, now on to the questions. Mail@rageselect.com is the email address, and our first one this week comes from our friend Ruskulls, who says, "Hello, Jeff and Amanda. I was walking past my local GameStop and saw their coming soon shelf. It had a lot of stuff I knew about from advertisements, previews, etc., but also Metal Gear Survivors. Correct me if I'm wrong, but hadn't we heard next to nothing about that game when it was announced last E3, and maybe only one interview afterwards? I mean, what the heck are Konami thinking? Are they sitting on this one and hoping that it'll sell well because MGS5 sold well, so there's no need to advertise it further? Sincerely, fucking some Krogans, Ruskulls 06.
GameStop will put anything on its coming soon. If somebody like sneezes something and it sounds a little bit like a video game title, they'll put that shit on their coming soon, and it's hard to trust. I don't know if there is an actual release date offered.
I'm sorry, there's a commercial here for Twitch has a giant
Octopus thing.
Old
going.
Spice has a giant robot squid that you can control via Twitch. I'm sorry, I was just very confused.
What the fuck are we doing this podcast for when we could be watching that?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Okay, so let's see if we have an official release date. It just says 2017. We haven't heard jack shit. It wouldn't surprise me if E3 got a release date.
Because there's a good chance that all I'm saying is don't get mad at them for not advertising something that might be delayed. Or might not just have hit their time to promote yet. Yeah. And that GameStop just is a dick and went, well, they said it was going to come out, so coming soon. We're going to put it on coming soon. They'll be more than happy to sell you a fucking pre-sale of it, a pre-order of it, and have absolutely no release date for it.
Yep.
So I don't trust them at all.
The GameStop by my house literally has like windows in the front, and you can't see in because there's so many so many posters for different games that are coming out.
Yeah.
All just papered up around there.
Yeah, don't use them as your news for when something's coming out.
They probably, when it was announced, at some point, they probably got a promo. They probably got a little promo thing for it, and the ability to put it as a SKU in their system and accept pre-orders for it. And so that's what it is. As far as the game goes, I mean, I don't know. Konami's a fucking weird company, man. They're like, 2 years ago, they did that internet thing where they're just like, we're not even making video games anymore. Fuck video games. We're going to put out one soccer game. We're just going to have our health clubs. We like the health clubs. And they're just like, we're also going to put out this Metal Gear game that looks like weird garbage.
Yeah.
Where you're in a post-apocalyptic unicorn rockhead zombie world. And everybody's got to run around and do stuff. And it looks really stupid.
Yeah.
It's still probably going to come out. It'll probably come out, and I don't think that Konami put out like a Silent Hill pachinko machine, and they canceled Silent Hills. I don't think they fucking care. They're just like a big bald Japanese company that doesn't give a fuck about anything and just puts out whatever. So
I mean, pachinkos make money.
But also, you know what? This actually is an ultimate segue into something that I was talking about with John today when we were recording. Mm-hmm. So this week, a game on the Xbox One called Phantom Dust came out that was like an HD remake of an old original Xbox game called Phantom Dust, right?
Uh-huh.
So at the first E3, one of the first major E3s after the Xbox One had been announced, they actually announced they were making they were remaking a new Phantom Dust game, or they were not remaking, they were making a new Phantom Dust game.
Okay.
That got scrapped.
Uh-huh.
Then they said, we're going to put out this kind of fan favorite culty hit Phantom Dust game. We're going to do some tweaking to it, and then we're just going to put it out. We're going to let people have it. They put it out this week. Like, they announced that it was going to come out the day before it came out, and then they put it out this week. Mm-hmm. They put it out up against Injustice, which has had roughly 1 billion trailers, and The Surge, which is Dark Souls for people who like robots.
Yeah.
As well as that Reservoir Dogs game is coming out this week. Akiba's Beat came out this week. There's like a shitload of things that came out this week.
Uh-huh.
Why the fuck would you put it out this week? You know what comes out next week?
Nothing.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Like the new Star Ocean game or some bullshit. I don't know. Sorry, Star Ocean fans. I was fucking
This
fine.
comment section is going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's great. I'm just trying
at this point now.
Why not? Why stop
We're
now?
gonna go for broke.
Why
you
stop
know?
now? Keep digging till you hit hell.
Right? Like in for a penny, in for a pound. That's what I always say.
But that's another thing where there's a bunch of different things where I'm like, you know, the Xbox One has had precious few exclusive titles. It's one of the things where if you bought an Xbox One, I don't think it's a bad console. It's just that, like, for me as a Let's player, I like the PS4 because there's just a shitload of weird stuff that I can get, like Japanese games that are not on the Xbox One. So if you were going to put out this Phantom Dust thing that was part of your launch lineup in a year where, like, Scalebound has been canceled and, like, Quantum Break didn't do super well and Halo Wars 2 just kind of came and went like a fart in the night.
Yeah.
Like, hype it a little bit. Like, give me a week, put out a trailer and be like, next week the fucking classic Xbox game returns, Phantom Dust, and it's free, which it is. It's free. You can just go download it.
Yeah.
But I'll never understand certain video game business. I mean, say what you will about Nintendo, but at least Nintendo will tell you about the game that's coming out like 5 times in a Nintendo Direct for an hour and a half before it ever comes out.
Yeah.
So the answer, Ruscals, is GameStop has it up because they're fucking poster whores. They're like a 14-year-old, you know, putting band posters up in their bedroom. They'll put
it's
up
not
anything.
A phase, Mom.
or fucking Andy Dufresne in the Shawshank Redemption. And as far as Konami goes, they're just a bunch of fucking wackadoo crazy people.
Yeah.
They ran Hideo Kojima off from their company. Like, the guy's just been printing money for them for like 3 decades
right,
now.
But how many pachinko machines has he made?
At least one, because they remastered a bunch of Metal Gear Solid 3 stuff in the Metal Gear Solid 5 Fox engine and made it look like better than ever. Mm-hmm. And people saw like a screenshot. They're like, "Oh my god, are they making an HD like a super remastered version of like one of the greatest Metal Gear games, like this fan favorite?" It's like, no.
Nope.
It's a fucking pachinko machine. It has like all of this pretty stuff. They did the same thing with Silent Hill 2, where people are like, "Oh my god," and they're like, "No, that's all right. It's just a pachinko machine." Anywho, Euro Salamander writes in and says, "Greetings, oh glorious Jeff and magnificent Amanda. A few podcasts ago, Jeff, you mentioned walking out of the theater while seeing Aliens vs. Predator. I have heard of doing this, but I've never seen it happen, nor have I done it myself.
I've heard of tales of such things.
Though I've been tempted with a few movies. My question is this: which movie or movies, if there are several, have you walked out of the theater from, and what was the straw that finally broke the camel's back for you, your loyal fan and patron, Euro Salamander?
Avatar.
You walked out of Avatar?
Avatar 3D. My mom threw up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good
She got
reason.
nauseous and threw up. We walked out of Blair Witch because it gave me a migraine.
Okay.
I watched it the first time and had to look at the ground because it gave me a headache because of the motion
Shaky, yeah.
shit.
Mhm.
And then the second time I went and I'm like, I missed it. I have to watch it. I could handle it. It's fine. And then I got nauseous and was like, fuck that shit. I'm leaving.
But have you ever walked out of a movie due to just being bad?
No, I'll sit through anything.
Okay. Yeah, AVP is the one and only. That's the only movie that ever, and it was a pre-release press screening.
Wow, it didn't even feel like that bad of a movie in comparison to some shit films.
Here's the thing. At that point I was a lot younger, and it was like, so.
Have you ever seen Predators?
Yes.
Okay, because to me, that's more of a dick punch to the Predator legacy than AVP is.
Okay, so
Having said that, I also enjoyed Predators.
I fucking hate that movie so much.
There's a lot wrong with it, and I could sit and argue about what's wrong with that movie, but I did think it had good ideas, but it shouldn't have been a Predator movie.
Right. Okay, so Alien vs. Predator 2004. Okay, so allow me to explain the reason, since I don't have anything else to answer the Euro Salamander's question with. Allow me to run down the thing. Okay, so at the time that this movie came out, there were 2 Predator movies. First one, fucking cinematic masterpiece, classic. You should be teaching shit in film schools. I ain't got time to bleed. Fucking science fiction, Arnold Schwarzenegger, fucking great. Carl Weathers, fucking Governor Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah.
Shane Black himself is in there as the radio guy, and Billy, and like it's great. It's great.
It's a great film.
It's a
yes.
fucking beautiful movie. Predator 2. I am a big enough boy to tell you that it's not as good as Predator 1. It's charming in its own weird, cheesy, campy RoboCop
It's now
way.
a bad time to mention that I like Predator 2 better than Predator 1.
Get out.
Bye, everybody.
She's like, finally.
I'm free.
No, I think it's all right. I think Predator 1. I don't think that Predator is. I think that the Predator is not a movie that needs to be a franchise. I think that
agree.
you should just have one movie and then done.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
And Predator 2 is good. I don't think that it holds up as well because they had that whole like, oh, it was the 1990s and we thought that by the year 2000 like gang violence was going to be dudes with like rocket launchers shooting at each other in the middle of downtown LA.
I think that's why I like it, because it's like almost hokey. Like
Right.
it's super silly to me.
And fucking Gary Busey out there, man. Fucking
Yeah.
get shit
Jesus.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically Riggs
Yeah.
from
Getting
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
So, okay, those 2 movies, good. Predator 2, I didn't like as much Predator 1, but in its own respect, fine.
Yeah.
Let's run down the Alien movies. First Alien. Fucking love it. Took me a long time to see
now's a bad time to tell you what Alien movie I like.
it. No. Aliens is my favorite. Love it. Love it to death.
It's great. It's a great film.
Fucking great. There's a whole... I could talk for hours about how Ripley as a character, she's so good. And in fact, I was actually thinking today how Ripley is a really good character, is a really good lady action movie character who's both a woman and an action hero, and doesn't like she breaks out of a lot of the... She's such a well-written character that like she's not just like a dude with, Vasquez is kind of a dude with boobs, but Ripley has a whole thing, and then by putting the whole new thing in, I usually fucking hate kids, but I feel like it's great, and it really it sends fucking shivers up my spine when she's fighting the queen at the end. Like I'm just like fucking me. Alien 3, I like it. It's not as, I don't think like it's quite as good. It's more like Alien 1, but I like watching. I think that if you're watching it as Ripley's story, that's a great kind of wrap up as she's very tired, and there's a lot of stuff going on there. And then Alien Resurrection, and I like that one too.
I fucking love Alien. I don't want to, like, I'm not trying to be the person that like likes the shittiest version of everything.
Sure.
Like, I'm not saying that the original Predator isn't good. Like, I love the fuck out of it, but I have like a weird nostalgia thing with the second one, and I like it, and I like that it's hokey because it kind of plays into my stuff. I fucking love Alien Resurrection.
Is it a perfect movie? No, it's not a perfect movie.
Fuck's sake, no. But I'm also a sucker for Ron Perlman. I'm a sucker for Winona Ryder. I'm a sucker for all like the shit that happens in that movie. I think it's fucking great. I don't think it's perfect in any way, but I fucking love it. I'm sorry.
Fucking Grima Wormtongue is in there as one of the scientists. He's fucking making out with an alien.
Yeah.
Directed by, is that Luc Besson that directed that?
You'd have a better shot at telling me.
But anyway, I didn't dislike that movie. I recognize that it had problems. I think the big white alien thing is kind of nutty, but whatever.
People eyes, like human eyes in it. Weird cloning of Ripley over and over again.
Yep.
The basketball scene. So we want to talk about the basketball scene? That's a fucking weird scene.
Yep.
I thought.
Yep. It was written by Joss Whedon. I didn't even know that.
Wow, this is like the one thing I like from Joss Whedon.
It's John. Okay. It's not Luc Besson. It's Jean-Pierre Jeunet who did Delicatessen, Amelie, City of Lost Children.
Of course.
Fucking Frenchy French. Right.
Oh, no wonder Ron Perlman's in it. He's great in City of Lost Children.
Yep. Yeah, I like that movie. Oh, it's also got fucking what's his face from The Crow, the bad guy from The Crow, who's who did Death and Darksiders too.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I fucking love that movie. I'm sorry.
Okay, so now we're all on the same page.
Yes.
Jeff liked all the Aliens movies.
Yes.
Liked all the Predator movies.
Correct.
And it was like, guess what? And there was even a Dark Horse comic that was Aliens vs. Predator, and I like that too.
I blame Predator for this shit, by the way, because had they not put that fucking alien skull in Predators 2, it would have never been a goddamn thing.
So the reason that this movie pissed me off so much was that up until this point in my life, the Alien franchise and the Predator franchise had both been exceptionally good science fiction, fun action movies.
Right.
And goddamn, did they ever fuck that to make it stupid? Like, what? We got to hunt. They're hunting. They've got a Mayan temple where they put people in there, and every 1,000 years, like some predators come down. It's like their rite of ascension, where the humans get they put humans in there to pop out aliens, and then Lance Henriksen is in there as a fucking Lance Reddick is in there as a fucking as Wayland, because we got to bring in Wayland Yutani and like it just, and they kill the two predators, like all but the last predator, like in 5 minutes, and then I've got to deal with like predators bonding with
humans,
the lady, and I'm
that's
just
a
like,
thing though. That's from one of the comics or one of the novels.
Yes,
that is actually pulled from.
Yes,
I don't know if those are considered canon.
There are so many weird Alien and Predator comics back in the day from Dark Horse.
Yeah, but I mean, it was mildly impressive that they pulled from something. Oddly disappointing that they did it in a movie that was written by a crazy person, because I don't know who thought that was a good movie.
Yep.
But I didn't hate it. I watched it and was just kind of whatever about it.
Actually, you know what's funny? That is Paul W.S. Anderson, maker of the Resident Evil movies. Huzzah!
Oh, no wonder it's just so shit.
Yeah, and written by Shane Solero, who wrote. Oh, what? Are they making 5 more Avatar movies? What the fuck?
Ugh.
It looks like the Samuel L. Jackson remake of Shaft, Armageddon,
Oh, Jesus.
Breakdown, New York Undercover, NYPD Blue. Yeah, okay, that's...
You're going backwards.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Paul W.S. Anderson, who's made like 4 good movies in his life. And
which ones? I'd love to watch them.
Are Mortal Kombat,
yes,
Event Horizon.
Oh, my God. He wrote Event Horizon?
No, he directed Event Horizon.
He directed Event Horizon?
Yep.
That's going to fucking ruin my day. Honestly.
Soldier with Kurt Russell.
Holy shit.
Yep.
God, I love Soldier.
And I'm going to, and you know what? I could put a few of these in here, but I'm going to say Death Race, the one with Jason Statham, because I thought that movie was fun and stupid and great.
Yeah.
So anyway, so what you have to realize is that this is one of the turning moments for Jeff, where I was just like watching these 2 franchises that I had loved just fucking fall on their faces and get fucked to death by this stupid director, and I was like, I'm out. Because you know what? I think that AVP Requiem is a way better movie than Alien vs. Predator.
Everyone would agree on that.
I mean, you just get a bunch of people getting killed instead of like Lance Henriksen and 4 people in a frozen Mayan temple or whatever the fuck. Anywho, it just irritated.
Now I kind of feel like watching Alien Resurrection though.
Fucking so much. And then I don't like Predators either because they keep trying to expand. It was better when you didn't know what the fuck it was. When it was just like, it's hunting us.
They started kind of feeling like they were warriors looking for worthy opponents, and now they turn into game hunters that look like they're like putting people in like little spots so that they can hunt them, or it became a weird thing where it's like we're breeding lions so we could shoot a lion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to it used to feel like they were warriors.
Yeah, or well, to me, they always felt like hunters, but it was like big game hunters hunting humans. But yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
You were 100% right, because in the first one, it starts out in the middle of this it was like Cambodia or something.
And it was like straight war torn.
It was a civil war,
very much,
right, where they could go and they could hunt in this violent conflict and get cover for what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then in 2, it was like fucking gang warfare.
Yeah, it was
LA
war in the jungle. Like it was called like
the
urban
concrete jungle.
Concrete jungle. That's what it was. Yeah, and then when they went beyond that, it became a thing where it was about like, we like to bring humans into a little spot and literally shooting fish in a barrel. Like
in AVP, they didn't even want to hunt humans. The humans were there to be impregnated and then become aliens so they could hunt the aliens. They weren't even trying to hunt people.
Yeah.
And then in fucking Predators, they fucking drop Adrian Brody out of a spaceship with a fucking future parachute on.
Yeah.
Being your big game reserve. Yeah, those Predators suck.
Yeah, they changed
Predator.
everything and it became shitty. Yeah.
All right. Juho writes in and says, "Hey, Jeff and Amanda, greetings from a longtime listener from Finland. My question is, what games did you love when you were younger, but these days you just don't have any interest in playing? When I was younger, I was a huge Crash Bandicoot fan, but now I can't stand them. Gameplay is pretty boring and stiff, and I prefer, and I crave better stories. With regards, Juho." Or Juho, I don't know, from Finland.
Juho. I played Conker's Bad Fur Day when I was way young, like junior high-ish, and not as fun now as an adult, where you're like just not into it.
I'm gonna say that a lot of stuff from the PSX era, I don't have any interest in going back to, like Final Fantasy VII. I know a lot of, fucking Jennifer plays that shit all the time, but I think it looks like garbage. And that I don't have enough nostalgia to want to go back and play it a second time without some kind of remaster.
Have you ever tried, I don't know if you ever played the GoldenEye game?
I didn't have an N64.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that was like a huge thing growing up, was playing that on the N64. Trying to go back and play it is damn near impossible. It's like, this rectangle is fighting this other rectangle, and then there was James Bond music for some reason.
Yeah.
It's really weird to try to play that again.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back and play Super Nintendo games all the goddamn live long day. I'll go back and play Symphony of the Night on the PlayStation PS1 because it's a sprite-based game. But the stuff that has all those really, really chunky graphics, like especially, I'll tell you what, as much as I would love to, I can't play N64 games because they're like visually offensive to me.
It's too hard to go back now. Like it's unfortunate and it's a thing that happens, but you just can't go back.
It's like watching early CGI special effects movies where you're just like,
it's like watching the Reboot television series.
You're doing it now. You're the one doing it. Man, fuck Amanda. Reboot is great.
Reboot is great. I watched every episode when I was a kid, but you know what? It looked like shit. It looked like shit then. It looks like shit now.
It did look like shit. It's the reason. I'll tell you what. It's the reason that as much as I really want to, once every 4 years, I'll be like, "This is it, Jeff. This is it. You've heard about it. You ready? Gonna watch Babylon 5. Gonna fucking watch Babylon 5. Episode 1, Season 1, Babylon 5. Let's go. Hit the play button."
I can't do it. I'm gonna throw
30 minutes later, I'm just like, nope, not gonna watch Babylon 5. Nope, sorry, fuck you.
I was very lucky that John made me watch Babylon 5, and every time something shitty would happen, I'd look at him and be like, "Why are you making me watch this?" And then I could just stare at him in anger while the bad CGI was happening. I can watch Farscape, and they have some bad CGI that happens in there.
Farscape, I was watching it when it was coming out, and it looked really good. And now it's a little long in the tooth.
And they
there's
have
some of it that's like,
that one puppet Yoda-looking frog guy that
Rigel?
Rigel. I always forget his name. And then sometimes they CGI him, and it's like, why would you do that? He looks awful.
Yep. Dominar, Rigel the 16th. All right, one more question comes in from Victor. Victor says, "Hi, Jeff and Amanda. Non-video game related question here. As a Long Island to New York City area commuter, I am completely beholden to the whims of the MTA to get to and from work. This means anytime those fuckers in Jersey so much as sneeze the wrong way, 12 trains leaving Penn Station get canceled because in New Jersey Transit shares the same tunnels as the Long Island Railroad." You might as well just be like,
What?
glop, gloop,
Yeah.
2564.
I know, right? 'Cause I agree.
The last
What?
time this happened, I was stuck on a train for an hour and 45 minutes, packed so tightly that I may have unintentionally been intimate with another man. The two guys in front and behind me felt this was a perfect time to argue on whether or not our predicament was because of the, quote, overpaid union fuckers, unquote, or, quote, Governor Homo's fault, unquote.
Jeez Louise.
Nothing's worse than being asked to dick with two guys while they yell. My question to you, what's the worst mass transit / commuter experience you've ever had? Sorry for the long email. Hail Hydra, Victor. The worst.
Oh, honey, I'm from California. We don't
commute.
I drive my own goddamn car.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst thing for me as far as traveling was when I was in college, I'd have to wake up at 3 a.m. to take an 8 a.m. class. And if there's no traffic, I could have gotten there in half an hour. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Like, I took a Greyhound bus to Columbus. The fuck am I talking about? That was fun. I had a guy tell me about he sat next to me and literally just started in on how his brother likes to date black women. And he said, well, that's fine as long as he don't bring her home. And literally, I didn't say a fucking word to this guy, and that's how he starts the conversation with me. Meanwhile, I'm Hispanic. I know I look white, but I'm Hispanic, and I'm like, what's happening? What? Like, it was horrifying.
See, I feel like the only defense there is you had to ratchet your own crazy up so far you turned back to go, do I look white to you? Do you think you're talking to a white person? Whitey? You go, whoa, dude, what the fuck? Yes, you do look white. Oh, I look white to you?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah, I can say I lived in Seattle for a year, and I took the bus all over the goddamn place there. I have one story about when the bus broke down, and it broke down at the top of a hill because it had snowed. And I was so happy that it snowed because I was from Texas that I was just like skipping down the hill, sliding on ice, like throwing snowballs at people. And I was just like, yay. And everybody else was just like, fuck, I'm late for work. Fuck. And I was just like, yeah, look, it's the beautiful, amazing.
I like that you're frolicking and people are like, I need to get home.
Yep. Well, this is the morning, so this was the
Jesus.
This
I need
the
to get
trudge
to work.
Yeah.
Like, I still have to go to work after all this bullshit, and then you're like, cha la la.
But the worst experience that I ever had was actually in Europe, where we took a bus from Italy to Greece, and it was this weird thing where it was an overnight bus and you were trying to sleep, and somehow the seat that I had picked was right over the engine casing, and they had air, but they would turn off the air after a little while.
Yeah.
And when they turned off the air, the heat from the engine, and then
so you were like on fire the whole time?
And then you open up your window, and because you're right next to the engine, then the fucking gas fumes come in right on you. So I'm just like pouring sweat, tired as fuck, couldn't go to sleep, gas fumes. And we finally like stopped at a place, and I was also hungry. I was starving. We stopped at a place, and I got off the bus, and it was like it was just Europe, and a bunch of just like cooked fish that looked like they were just been sitting in a display case for a little bit too long with their fucking glassy eyes looking out and like sweat on the fit. And I was just like, all right, I don't know. This is fucking horrible. So then we finally got to the place and it was fine. But I had a couple of things like that. Like we took a ferry it was like a 30-hour ferry back from Greece to the mainland, and we didn't want to buy a cabin because we were all doing it on the cheap. So basically, it's just like imagine like a step down from airliner seats,
Yeah.
like a little bit more like a hard plastic seat with a little bit of cushioning on it, and then like little armrests that can raise up and down, but then like just rows and rows of them.
Yeah.
And that was just like where we would sleep at night. We would just sleep on the floor in the boat underneath like the seats. And then in the morning we would get up and just like fucking splash water. It was only a day, but it was kind of a wretched,
Yeah.
like just 30 hours. There wasn't anything to do. We just played spades and got drunk for like 20 hours because there's just jack shit, nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like this was before, I hate to be all like old man, but this was before cell phones. So like I think one of us had a cell phone in case of emergency, but it was just a cell phone.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have.
Yeah, they didn't have like a big ass screen, and you guys weren't taking
Right.
selfies on it and going on Instagram, checking up on everybody.
Fucking
And
Netflix wasn't even a thing by that point.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, like, we didn't have, like, if you had a Game Boy, it would have been great, but I didn't have that. I think I had a laptop. No, I didn't even have a laptop at that point. So it was literally just like, I mean, I was in Europe. Like, I wanted to fucking
I
experience
feel
the
like
place.
you are describing somebody's like worst nightmare. You're like foreign land,
Yep.
no technology with you, not even a Game Boy to like. So you're just left with your own thoughts
Yep. I
in
had
a boat.
I had
and
a
a
big
ferry.
thing like, let's go to Europe. Like, here's a guidebook for doing stuff. And like after the first excursion that we did in Europe, I fucking threw that shit away. We just go to a place. You bring like 2 shirts, 1 pair of pants that you were wearing, usually it was jeans, a few pairs of underwears and socks, and then just like, I don't know, like a book and
Yeah.
a pack of playing cards and some cigarettes and some passport and currency and stuff.
Yeah.
Just go to a place, check into hostel, and then just like go down. And a lot of times you could just get away with like going down. It depended on where you were, but you could just get away with going down to a bar and then just being like, hey man, what do you do around here? And they'd be like, oh, you from America? And they'd be like, yeah. They'd be like, hey, I'll tell you all the great places to
See,
go.
I don't know if this is a weird thing to say, but see, I always wanted to do that. But I'm a girl.
Yeah.
And it's just like the idea of going, hey, I don't know where to go. I'm just a stupid American girl. It really feels like it'd be like, hey, you should kidnap me.
You're afraid you're going to get taken?
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to get taken. I'm
We'll
just,
call Liam Neeson, you know.
I mean, my dad is Liam Neeson.
Oh, he's a particular set of skills.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I could probably get like a gang in Southern California to come help me if my dad decides to pull some strings, but that'd be a hella weird movie.
Like a like bunch of Southern California gangbangers,
like Mexican mafia,
like showing
come
up in
at-
like Italy.
yeah, like they fucking paid the money to have their lowriders come get me. Yeah,
Nice. And that's it. That's all the podcasts we got for this week. Thank you, Amanda. It is now 2:30 in the morning.
yeah.
Mail@radiosite.com is the email address. We need questions. That was like kind of all the questions that we had this week. And
What
some
the
of those were
fuck?
from last
You
week.
told me there was a lot.
I always say there's a lot.
You fucking liar.
4 is a lot. No.
You said this podcast was a good size.
It is a good... I ain't touching that.
That's what I said after I heard about the size.
Yep, I'm not going anywhere near this conversation anymore. Be sure to leave your angry comments down below, and I don't know, we'll maybe read them. Mail@radiosite.com is the email address. We will see y'all next week. Good night.